Hey up everyone, and welcome back to the Jolly Guitarist. It's Jolly here, and let me turn that down. So today I just want to start doing like a month of sweep picking practice, since I'm coming at it now from an angle of like I've got an okay foundation of sweep practice, but what I want to do is expand upon that and learn some different shapes and different keys, different chords. I want to learn augmented, diminished, minor 7, major 7, dominant, all that stuff. That's what I want to do, and I'm going to be doing that for about a month or so, and then compiling all that together into one video. So yeah, so this is day one. It's the 22nd of June 2023, and I hope you enjoy watching this journey. So just for the just to start off here, I'm going to start off pretty simple with this kind of a D minor arpeggio. Pretty standard like Synistigate style thing there. So I think I'm just going to practice that for around 10 minutes and slowly raise the BPM and try and get it to the point where it's pretty I'm pretty comfortable with it, but it's not getting to the point where it's like unplayable. So I'm just going to get a metronome up here. There we go. Metronome. So 100 BPM. Okay. This is in groups of 3, by the way. So it's like triplets. Like what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so that's I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna move it up to 110 and see how we do there. Okay. Okay, so that's 110. I'm still feeling pretty comfortable with that. Basically what I'm trying to do right now is just find the point where it's difficult, but not too difficult. So like I can play it and I can build on it, and I'm not getting lost in the beat, So this is 120. Okay, so that's 120. I'm starting to feel a little bit, one sec. I'm starting to feel like a little bit it's getting difficult, so I'm going to move it up to 125. Okay. Okay, so yeah, 125 is definitely pushing it. I'm going to give 130 a try here and just see if that's comfortable enough. Yeah, so that's 130 there. That's definitely still okay for me. I feel like once I start going beyond that, it's going to get to the point where I struggle. For me, this is like just how you get better at sweep picking, is finding what BPM works for you, where it's not too difficult but it's not too easy, and then just working it up from there. That's the only way, really. In terms of my right hand movements, you just want to keep it literally as loose as possible to get that kind of movement, because if you hold your pick too hard, you're gonna get, it's just not gonna work. You literally want to see it as like strumming a chord, Pretty similar motion. And this is a pretty good sweep to start off with. Maybe if you just start in sweep picking, maybe just start off with something on maybe 3 strings like this. Just start off with something like 3 strings and then build it up to 4, 5, 6 strings, whatever. However far you want to go with it. But I'd say definitely start off small and work it up incrementally as you go. So I think what I'm going to do is just try 1-3-5 for a few minutes and see how that goes. Okay, so I've spent a few minutes at 1-3-5. I'm just going to give 140 a try. Okay, so the battery's running low on the camera now, but that is kind of the intro video that I wanted to do. I know there wasn't much going on there, but that's kind of how it is with practicing guitar. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Hey up everyone. Turn that off. Welcome to day 3 of the 30-day sweepy thing. You might have noticed that there wasn't an episode for yesterday. That's because I didn't record one. Yesterday was kind of more of like a learny day where I wanted to learn some different stuff. And I did learn some cool stuff. So the first thing I learned was this kind of like a Frank Gambale style 3-string arpeggio. It's quite intervallic. It's something like yeah, I still need to practice it, but basically it's you can play it by doing a pull off. Well, first of all, you kind of bar your second finger over the fret 17, and then you pull off with your pinky on from 19 to 17, and then you play 17 of the B, and then 16 of the G. Yeah, so it's kind of like a weird intervallic-y kind of thing. You probably want to throw it in quite quickly into like a jazz fusion kind of solo. It's not something you'd want to linger on too long, but I think it's got kind of a cool sound. Yeah, so there's that, and then I also looked at some videos on different patterns, and one thing I found that was pretty helpful is to rather look at arpeggios as one big chunk from the bottom string to the top string, to just look at the intervals specifically, take 3 or 4 notes and then just repeat them in octaves. So I'll try and show you what I mean. So say you want to play like an A minor 7 arpeggio, you'd start off with that, and then the 3rd, and then the 5th, and then the minor 7th. And then you literally just take that, but do it an octave up. So that's kind of like a nice way to build like quite a big sweep across the guitar neck. Is just take a simple core idea of 4 notes, and then just repeat them in 3 different octaves. And I haven't really warmed up today, which is probably a bad idea, so that's why I'm playing kind of slow. Yeah, but the cool thing about that is you can do that in a lot of different chords in a lot of different positions over the neck. So like you could do minor 7 flat 5. And you might recognise that shape. That's from the Nobody Solo by Avenged Sevenfold. He kind of uses a similar idea for these arpeggios, where the first one. So that's like a C minor add 9 kind of thing. And then it goes down to that A minor 7 flat 5 kind of idea. Yeah, so that's a cool way of looking at arpeggios. And the third thing that I found was quite a good exercise is taking more of a harmonic approach to sweeps by practicing them over the neck. So if you're familiar with C major, you take each chord that's respective to those notes and then make them into a sweep. So for example, you'd start off C major, then D minor, then E minor, F major, G major, and then A minor. And so that's quite a nice way of kind of learning to play, getting used to playing all over the neck, as well as learning some interesting shapes that you can use. So these are just regular triad shapes. They're not minor sevens or major sevens. So I think what I'm going to do for 10 to 15 minutes or so is practice those shapes like that going up and down the neck and see what BPM I can get it to. Okay, so this is 100. Okay, so that was 100. I'm just going to bump it up to 110. Okay, so that was 110. One thing that you might notice one thing that you probably will notice with these sweeps, specifically the major ones, is this roll. That roll across the B, G and D string is really tricky, because you got to roll one finger so that it frets the correct note while also muting the ones around it. And that's, for me, definitely the hardest part of these sweeps. Yeah, so before you try these sweeps, you might just want to practice that for a little bit, just get used to that motion of rolling your finger across those strings. It shouldn't be too hard, like, well, once you get the kind of the muscle memory down, it's not too bad. Another thing I want to mention is that I know that this is like starting out pretty slow relatively for me, but the thing is, like, I've always had this kind of like a nervous tick with playing guitar where I can pick things up and I want to just play them quick. Like you might have seen some of the videos of me sweep picking, and you'll probably also notice that in those videos I'm playing it quick, but there's also quite a lot of like imperfections in it, because I haven't put, you know, the hundreds of hours or whatever into practicing sweep picking. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like the guitar player psyche of just wanting to play it quick without practicing. So that's why I'm doing this 30-day thing, really, is just to try and discipline my technique more and get it so there's less of those imperfections and it's more consistent, if that makes sense. Because I mean, like, I could try and play these as quick as possible, right? And like, yeah, like it kind of works, but you can hear that there's a lot of like messiness in there, and I want to try and get it sound as clean as possible. What else did I want to mention? There's something else. It's going. Oh god, it's going. Oh yeah, the reason why I use a tone with a lot of distortion is because, well, I see a lot of people who practice sweep picking on a clean tone. And I think for me, practicing on an overdrive or distortion tone is really helpful, because if you practice on a clean tone, when you do eventually switch to a distortion tone, you might find that your notes sound really muddy because you're not muting them properly, you know, like yourself. like you'll have a lot of overlap between notes, which is the last thing you want when sweep picking. So I like to play on a tone with quite a bit of distortion and delay, because then you can hear your mistakes more clearly, and then you can work on muting the notes more accurately. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna try bumping it up to 110 real quick. Oh, sorry, 120. And see how that goes. Right, so that was 120. I'm conscious of time because I've got to go pick up a guitar soon, so I'll try 130 and we'll see how we go from there. Okay, so that was 130. I think I'm going to leave it there for today. So, yesterday I got the, what was it? I got that one up to 160. Today I've got those modal shapes all across the neck up to 130. So I'm pretty happy with that, and the camera's on about nearly half an hour now. So that's, so I'll have to edit all this together into a somewhat compact digestible source of information. But yeah, if you've got any questions about what I was practicing today, if you want me to talk more about it at all, then just leave a comment. And I hope you enjoyed day 3 of sweep practice. And yeah, I'll see you for the next day. Hey up everyone, and welcome to day 6 of the 30-day sweepy learning thing. It's been a little while since I've done a day. The last day I did was day 3, now it's day 6. Reason for that is at the end of day 3 I was jamming, I was feeling the blues, and then my string broke, and then I had the blues, and then I bought some new strings and put them on, and here they are, looking very nice. Got that shiny new string feeling, you know, you can't beat it. Yep, so anyway, I've been looking at different kind of sweeping arpeggios, different patterns, mainly like minor 7 kind of ideas. So I found this. So what that is it's effectively this E minor triad, but with a minor 7th at each end, so it starts on a minor 7 and finishes on a minor 7. So if you're interested, it's on the G string 7, 9, and then 8 on the B, and then 7 on the high E, and then 10 on the high E. That's got like a nice kind of mellow minor sound. I'm sorry about the fan, by the way, if you can hear it. It's very humid here in the UK right now, and we don't have air conditioning. Yeah, but that's a cool idea, and you can kind of extend it further and make it into a five string sweep. So just see if I can remember. And that's got like a cool kind of Dorian sound, you know, you could throw that into a bluesy solo or a jazz or a funk solo, anything really. It's a quite versatile arpeggio. Yeah, and you can do like a major one as well. That's like a G major 7 kind of idea. So you might notice these arpeggios are pretty similar to the ones I did on day 3, you know. If I can play it right. That's a hard stretch, that is. Yeah, so they're similar to those arpeggios, but instead of just a basic triad, they're minor 7 and major 7 respectively. So a normal E minor triad would be... and when you add the 7 in there, it's more like... that's a weird chord to do that I picked, but... yeah. Yeah, so it's a cool thing you can use. I think I'm just going to practice that minor 7 arpeggio for a bit with a metronome. So I'll start off at... just try 100. Okay, I've got kind of a feel for the arpeggio now, so we'll try 110, see how that goes. Let's try 120. Yep, that's still not too bad. Try 130. I'd say it's getting a little bit tricky now for me. Let's try 140. Okay. Let's try 150. I'd say that's about as fast as I can get it without making too many mistakes. So that's 150 for that arpeggio, which isn't too bad considering I only just came up with it or learned it. A lot of this stuff is it's stuff that I look on the internet and I find, like YouTube videos and stuff, but then I'll kind of put my own spin on it, so I'm like, and then I always forget where I learned it from, so I'm sorry for not citing the original places where I find this. They're all kind of pretty common arpeggios anyway that you can find. But yeah, so I think what I'll try now is the more of the major 7 idea. And with these sweep picking arpeggios, you always want to try and group them into either 8th notes, 16th notes, or triplets, that kind of thing. So basically groups of 4 or groups of 3 at best. So this one's like... so those are like groups of 4, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of a 16th note idea. That's a tricky one, that is. I'd say that's harder than the minor 7 because of the pull off from 12 to 11 on the G. And then you got to bar the 12th fret on the B, so it's kind of a tricky one. It's a cool sound though, kind of sounds like a cascade or a waterfall or something. So I got that up to 100, and I think I'll leave it there for today. Anyway, yeah, so today was just more of a minor 7, major 7 kind of ideas. I know like a lot of people might be thinking, what's the point in recording all this when I'm just learning random stuff, but it kind of helps me keep on track with learning these things, because I don't really have a whole lot of motivation to learn this stuff, and then if I'm stuck in front of a camera, I've got to think, well, what am I going to talk about, so I kind of have to learn new stuff, so then I have stuff to record. Anyway, so that's part of the motivation behind it, and also because I'm so bad at sitting down and practicing to a metronome, I really hate doing it, so this is kind of the way to force myself to do it, to get improved results. Anyway, it's all good fun though, it's all music, and it's fun to learn this new stuff, and break out of the comfort zone of the usual shapes that I use. And yeah, that was day 6, I hope you enjoyed, bye bye! Hey up everyone, and welcome back to the 30-day sweep thing. Day 10, god, the time flies, doesn't it? Good grief. Felt like I only just did day 6, it's already on day 10. Where have I been? What have I been doing? Well, I've been looking at a lot of different jazz fusion stuff still. I found a couple of cool arpeggios that I can show you here. I found these on Rick Graham's channel if you're interested. Check him out, he's a cool fusion player. He's from the UK as well. So the first one is this sort of a G major 7 idea, see if I can remember it. And there's a cool thing with that arpeggio, it's got a kind of Guthrieism, as I like to call them, things that sound like Guthrie Govan. It's got kind of a chromatic idea here and there. Yeah, that's a chromatic thing there, but it's just kind of slipped in there, you know, it's not too obvious. And I like those kind of things because they give the arpeggio a kind of, they give it a lot of character. I like the sound of chromatics in arpeggios. And there's another similar idea, but it's sort of a G minor 7 instead of G major 7. Yeah, so kind of some wide intervallic ideas there, a bit different to the the usual shapes I'm used to, the sort of classic shreddy shapes that I knew about for years. And these are cool shapes, they're very versatile. So I think what I'm going to do is just try and stick the metronome on and just start practicing them with the metronome. I did do a teeny tiny bit of practice off camera just to get the note division down, and I've got it so these are in 16th notes, so they're like groups of 4. So I think I'll just start off on try 80, start off nice and low. I'm going to start with the major one. Okay, try 90. Okay, I've got a feeling this is going to backfire. I'm going to try 100. This arpeggio it's a real finger twister, because it involves a lot of first finger moving around. So it's a little bit tricky to get used to. Give it a try though. Okay, got that up to about 100, well exactly on 100. So I think I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to try the minor one, just remind myself how it goes. Okay, 2 pretty cool arpeggios there, very fusion, very angular, a little bit tricky to get used to, but once you do it, it's pretty accomplishing, and yeah, very useful. So that's the end of day 10. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Hey, up everyone, it's day 14 I believe, nearly halfway. So what I've been doing over the past few days, apart from the normal regular practice routine that I have, the sweepy stuff, I've just been working on those weird chromatic arpeggios from day 10. They're a bit tricky sometimes, but pretty nifty arpeggios though. They sound cool. I like them. I like the chromatic bit. Yeah, and today I was thinking of maybe just looking at practicing some diminished stuff. If you don't know what a diminished chord is, it's basically just every note is a minor third apart. So in the case of A, you'll have. If you just did that on one string, each interval you'll see has a gap of 2 frets between it. So that lends itself quite nice to arpeggios, because you can get a shape like this, and then just move it up 3 frets. And because each interval is always a minor third apart, it works well like that. It'd be nice if diatonic arpeggios would work like that. So when you think about it, like logically, if you have say a minor 7, you've got, that's like 3 frets up, and then the 5th is what? Like another 4 frets above that, right? And then the 7th is another 3 frets above that. Whereas with diminished, you just have the same gap. So yeah, so there's this kind of, I guess Yngwie Malmsteen kind of pioneered that idea of taking the shape, and just moving it up and down 3 frets. That kind of neoclassical thing works well in that style. But I tend to use the diminished stuff if I'm playing over a major 5 chord while I'm in a minor key. So say you're in say A minor, right? And it comes to the 5 chord just before the loop round, and you go into dominant. That's a good time to throw in the diminished stuff, because it's got like a lot of distance, and then it's got a good resolution to the root there. Yeah, anyway, enough blabbering. I'm just going to stick the metronome on and give it a try. Let's start off with a 90, see how we do. So I'm just going to move everything up 3 frets basically, and then move it back down. Okay. It's worth mentioning, I don't really care about where I'm starting this pattern or what quote-unquote key it's in. I'm just trying to get my hand used to my fingers used to the shape. It is a tricky one because it starts on your pinky and ends on your pinky, and it's a lot easier to go up than it is to go down. But it's all right. It's not too bad. I have got a couple of, one major shape in several different inversions I've been learning as well. I'll have a look at that later. For now, I'll just try 100 though. Right, so that's 100. I should also mention, if you're using this in a harmonic context, say you're playing in the key of A minor, and an E dominant or an E major comes up, what I like to do is start the sequence on the 2nd degree of the scale. So in the key of A minor, that's B. So you can begin on the 12th fret of the B string there. And then it's up to you whether you want to move it up or down. What's important is that you just start it on that one of those correct degrees, so it either has to be the natural 7 of A, because it's kind of like a harmonic minor. So natural 7, the 2nd, the 4th, or the flat 6. Then that's just natural 7 again. So just die on one of those 4 degrees. I tend to go for the 2nd because it's I usually find myself near this note. If I'm playing, I can easily, slide up. Yeah, so that's just a little pointer for you anyway. I'll try 110. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for the diminished stuff. Interesting workout though. To be honest, I'll probably work that into my regular warm-up routine because it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to remember the changes because it's just one shape, right, that you're just moving up and down. But it is a good way of getting your left hand and right hand warmed up. The other thing I mentioned earlier was this major 7 kind of idea that I learned off Rick Graham, so thank you, Rick. So you take, in this case it's G major 7, and you're basically playing an arpeggio up the neck, similar to the diminished idea, but because of the logic of Western music intervals, we can't just do, it won't work because all the intervals are spaced out differently. But yeah, so you basically play an arpeggio, and say you start on the 7th degree, the major 7th. You do that, and then the next one you play, same notes, but this time you're starting on the roots. Then you do it again, this time starting on the 3rd. And then you do it again, this time starting on the 5th. The nice thing about this is that you can actually move these shapes up an octave, so I'll try and show you what I mean. So that's like I consider that the first shape. And the second one is a bit trickier. Yeah, it's still kind of new shapes to me. I'd say that second one's definitely the hardest by far. The one after that isn't too bad. This one's starting on the 3rd. Because like the first one, that kind of fits into a nice little box shape. The last one is actually really nice and comfortable. That one reminds me of Under a Glass Moon by Dream Theater, you know that? You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'd say the toughest one is definitely this one. Rest of them aren't too bad. So I think what I'm going to do is just, I know this technically, whether you call this sweeping or not comes down to, I guess, personal opinion, but to me it's a melodic passage that moves fluently up and down the neck, so I just call it sweeping just to keep things simple. So I'll start off pretty slow on 80. That was 80, not too bad. I think I'm a bit more used to the shapes now. still a bit flaky, but getting there. It's a cool idea though, because now all of a sudden from one chord shape you've got 4 different shapes you can play across the neck in potentially 3 different octaves. So like this one, you can play it there, then you can, and then, so it's a pretty useful exercise, and definitely good for improv and composition, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to try and move it up to 90. See how I do now. Right, I know I'm playing these really slow, but I haven't really played them much before. I just learned the shapes and then wanted to record them on camera really. But I got them up to 90 there, so I'll probably off camera the next couple of days keep doing those patterns. You've got to do things like that slow. When you learn 4 patterns in one go and you're playing them consecutively, you just have to start off really slow. At least I do anyway. Because it takes the brain a bit of time to get used to the shapes and where to preemptively put your fingers to get ready for the next shape coming up, like that shape gets stored in your head temporarily and it gets easier. Obviously you can't stay on that, you've now got to do, and then when you get used to that one, so your brain has to kind of keep updating its memory with these different shapes. Just practice though, and I think they're cool and melodic. Could be useful. Definitely could be useful for something. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye. Hey up, people around the world. Hope you're all having a fan-dabba-doozy day wherever you're watching this from. Wherever, maybe it's the future, who knows. Hopefully everything's okay. We live in strange times, and I think it's day 18. I'm pretty sure it's day 18. So just over the halfway mark. What the hell have I been doing? I've been on a bit of like an 80s, 90s Guitar Hero-y phase lately. And by Guitar Hero I don't mean the game, I mean like famous guitarists from that era, like guys like Eric Johnson, Joe Satriani, Frank Gambale. And Frank Gambale is actually the subject of this video, because I've been thinking, I've done a lot of sweepy stuff that's been more harmonically centered, but I thought, why don't I take more of a pentatonic approach, where you're just using like a 3-note per string scale kind of thing, and then just bumping up the octave each time. And I probably explained that weirdly, but let me show you what I mean. Okay, so say we're in D minor pentatonic, right? So instead of just playing that shape, or playing the next shape up, you're combining both of those shapes, right? And it's a 4-note pattern. This is something I saw in Alex Hutchings' video about how to make pentatonics flow, and it was based on the Frank Gambale school of learning, which is taking a pentatonic approach and applying some sweeping things to it to give it a weird kind of flow. I'll try and show you what I mean. So that'll be 10, 13, 15, and then 12 on the A. Right? And then you just repeat it up an octave. And then just repeat it up an octave. And yeah, that's the full shape. It's a really cool shape. My cat's here to say hello. Come on now, Loki. Don't ruin the video. It's such a good video. There's probably like 1 million people watching this. Yeah, but what I've done is I've kind of made it into like a 4-note per string kind of thing. Sorry, not 4-note. 4 groups of 4. Groups of 4 notes, so 16th notes, right? So it's like, groups of 4 notes, because I have that weird thing where I like groups of 4 notes. I know I should just bite the bullet and learn 5s and sevens and whatever, but you know, I like groups of 4 notes, and you're just gonna have to live with that, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'll just whack a metronome on and I'll show you this shape that I definitely did not come up with. Is a Frank Gambale thing that Alex Hutchings made a video on that I've now turned into my own 16th note pattern. Just put it way down to 70 because this is a pretty new shape to me, and it's 16th notes. God, even at 70, that is such a weird, hard to play arpeggio if the metronome will stop. It's weird for a few reasons. One being the stretch. Like it's a big stretch, and for me the hardest part is because it's 3 notes on one string, then 1 on the next. Like it's such a weird, and obviously because I'm sweeping it right, you could play this with a pick from more of a staccato sound. It sounds pretty cool. Obviously because I'm doing a sweeping video, I'm sweeping it. Yeah, but getting that 3 notes on one string, 1 note on the next, while sweeping is really tricky because your hand has to constantly stop and then go again. Yeah. And then the coming back down is more difficult than going up from it. Really tricky arpeggio, but pretty cool sound, I think. Definitely something I want to build into my regular practice routine. You know, just even when I'm not planning on practicing sweeping stuff, it's really good for getting your left and right hand built up. I'm just going to give 75 a go, see how that goes. This is kind of a handle with caution arpeggio. We don't want to go in half cocked. Right, so that was 75. What time are we on? About just over halfway through the sesh. So we'll give 80 a try for a bit. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. I'll have to think of what I want to do next time. So I might just carry on this pentatonic idea, try and explore a few different shapes, something like that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Hey up everyone, welcome to day 23. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure that's what it is. Today I just want to do a continuation of what I did last time with those Frank Gambale kind of sweeps. I just recorded all this, but then the camera filled up with too much memory, so it stopped. So I'm doing it again. That's okay, because I only recorded like a few minutes. Yeah, so last time I'd learned that kind of... And that's a cool shape, but because of the way my brain works, I want it played all over the neck in various positions then. So that's what I did. So I kind of took each of the 5 pentatonic box shapes and assigned them their own 4-note sweep. I'll show you what I mean. So I started off with the second box shape, which is that kind of major. For those notes I did. For the third shape, it's that. Fourth shape. And finally for the 5th shape, it's the same as the 3rd shape, just starting on a different fret. Yeah, so that way you can play all over the neck, different octaves. Obviously in this case I'm playing in A minor, so you can... That's like 1st position, but you can move it up and down as you see fit. You can play the 5th position, 5th box shape here. Yeah, still trying to get used to these shapes. Cat's going crazy about that. But yeah, I think for today I'm just going to practice these shapes, trying to connect them more fluently to a metronome. So I'm going to start off on 70 really slow. There's a tough arpeggio. I know that I'm technically cheating a little bit. Instead of for this shape here, I'm playing major second, not a minor third, but it's one semitone. Who really cares? The idea is that I want to get these things pretty fast to the point where you can't really distinguish what notes they are. It just sounds like a flurry of notes. I'll give 75 a try. Might be pushing it a bit. Okay. I think I'll leave it there for today because I've got to be in bed early, got me in a good routine. I'm off to Wales in a couple of days. I might chuck in a few pictures for you now, if I remember. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed that part, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye. We're just at the hotel. I say we, Dad's just gone to the car to get a bag or something. Very nice hotel, Glenhaven in Llandudno if you're interested. Stayed here twice, this is the second time. And as you can see, it's very immaculate. I'll show you the bathroom. There's the bathroom. Absolutely spotless. This is actually the exact same room we stayed in last time. Everyone, it's day 29. We're nearly at the big 30, nearly a month of doing this every few days, little progress report. Bit of a longer wait between days this time. That's because I was actually on holiday. I'll chuck up a couple of clips of my holiday. Went away for a night, it was really nice. And obviously, you know, you had to get up early and get there, so it's a whole day gone, and getting back the next day, you know, you just feel a bit knackered and don't really feel like making videos. So yeah, so it's day 29 now, and what I was thinking of doing today is just a little bit like, if you remember way back in one of the earlier days when I did that kind of shape where I moved it up in, I can't remember what I did now. Hey, that's what I did. I moved up, from the major scale, moving up each chord diatonically. I'm going to do a similar thing like that, but instead of starting on the A string, I'm going to start on the D string. So it's these kind of shapes, you know. You know? So yeah, so I'm just going to stick the metronome on and then give that a try. That was 80 BPM. I should also point out this is all in G minor, because I got a bit bored of playing everything in A minor, because it's all... That's the one, G minor. And I'm also omitting that what was that, an A minor 7 flat 5. I'm sort of leaving that out and just going straight to the A sharp major. So it's 6 chords altogether. We'll try 90 now. Let's try 100, see how that goes. think I'll leave it there, 'cause it's approaching the half-hour mark. But thank you for watching. I guess tomorrow will be day 30, so I'll probably just make a little video talking about what I want to do next. Thinking of maybe doing 30-day legato challenge. So yeah, I'll have a think tomorrow though, and I'll let you know. Okay, see ya, bye. Hey up everyone, it's day 30. I haven't actually got the camera balanced on a box of tea bags today because I just wanted to do a little finale video just to say, you know, it's done now. And I think what I'm going to do now is chill for a day or two and then start a legato challenge where I'm going to practice legato every day and then every few days make a video update showing what I'm working on and how it's going. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye!